youth and job, family, and curriculum. I'm going to talk to you today about the importance of public speaking and communication skills. But to do that, I'm going to tell you a very embarrassing story about me. And before I tell you this embarrassing story, you got to promise me that you will keep it in this room. It won't go anywhere else. Okay?
Okay.
He's recording it.
Well,
Recording for him also.
going back in time when I was just a little bit younger than most of you, I was one of the co-chairmen of the MIT Students Science and Technology Conference. You can hear me? Okay. And one of my responsibilities that I had as a co-chairman was to introduce the president of the university. Now, you know when you have a conference and you are trying to do all the things to make sure that the conference goes right, you're more concerned about getting the speakers, the resources, the workshop. So I spent a lot of time on these other things and did not spend any time at all practicing my introduction of the president. So on the day of the conference, with hundreds of people out in the audience, not just students, but you had leading representatives from top companies in the U.S. who were coming there to check us out. So I was saying to myself, wow, this is my time to shine. I can impress these recruiters and get all kinds of job offers. So what happened, I stood up there in front of all the people looking at me, and I said, let me introduce to you the president of MIT. And I totally forgot his name. I froze, and he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, it's okay, Nasheed, that happens to all of us. Yes, Jerome B. Wiesner. I could never forget that name. But now, if I had good public speaking and communication skills, I could have said, the president of MIT, even though I don't know his name, a man who don't need any introduction. Let's welcome the president of MIT.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So I faced a very embarrassing situation that if I had good communication skills, I wouldn't have faced that experience. Now, when we talk about good communication skills, you think about good speakers. Can any of you tell me who you think is a great speaker? Someone that's motivational, someone that's inspirational, someone that can touch your heart? Martin Luther King. Who else? Hitler, yes. Even though people don't like him, he was a great speaker. You can't take that away from him, right? Now, there's a few that I want to share with you. You know who this is, right? Tony Robbins. He's a great inspirational speaker. And this, I don't know if many people know Les Brown. He's a great motivational speaker as well. And everybody know Oprah, right? Now, these are all people who have their own style, their own techniques, their own way of speaking. Oprah is not trying to copy Tony Robbins, right? No, it's Tony Robbins trying to copy Oprah. They are true to who they are. Anybody know who this is? Zig Ziglar. If you haven't checked him out, I advise you to do a Google search on Zig Ziglar. The man is phenomenal. He's no longer alive today, but he's a great motivational speaker. This person, his name is Nick Vujicic. Anybody know him?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was born without arms and legs, but yet he's a great motivational speaker. Now, the next great motivational speaker is someone that will really surprise you. Someone that, you know, you would really be impressed to know who that is. Do you want to know who that is? Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the next great motivational speaker. It is
Nasheed.
you. You may look at me and say, what is he talking about? Now, if there was a fire in your house, right? and you have to tell the members of your family to get out, there's a fire. Won't you say that with great enthusiasm? Won't you say that, let's get out, there's a fire, everybody leave. And when you talk to your loved ones, whether it be a family member or your best friends, you don't talk the same way as you talk with a stranger, right? You talk naturally. And the key that shows is that once you are authentic with yourself, you can be the same with others. Now, what happens to people, you see them talking naturally with each other, you see them using body language, you see them expressing themselves, but when they get in front of an audience, they transform. We saw the full moon yesterday, right? So they transform from being themselves into the werewolf or somebody else. But they transform into somebody that they're not, okay? And as a result, they don't express themselves as freely and as comfortably as they would normally express themselves as if they were talking to someone they knew. So, I want to tell you a secret. The secret of being a great public speaker is to feel as comfortable on the stage, speaking to thousands, millions, hundreds, whatever numbers, as you are speaking to a close friend. Once you have that feeling of comfortability, you have really made it as a great public speaker. But that takes practice, right? It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It takes practice. It takes working in an environment or practicing in an environment where you actually do speak to real people and do get real feedback. And that's something that Toastmasters provides. Now let's look at some of the qualities of an inspiring speaker. One is they are self-assured. They have confidence. They are not trying to be anybody else. They're trying to be themselves. They are self-assured with who they are. And they project confidence. That's one quality of a great inspirational speaker. Another one is they're very optimistic. Inspirational speakers, they don't look at the rainy side of things. They really believe that it's not your aptitude, but your attitude, which may be detaining you from gaining altitude. You know what that means, right? It's not your inherent ability to do things. It's not what God gave you as ability when you were born to do things that is blocking you from achieving your highest success. It's the way you are looking at it. It's your negative perception. And most great inspirational speakers, they are very optimistic and they give you the feeling that yes, you can achieve. Another thing is that they are authentic. They are themselves. And the key is, if you are comfortable with who you are as a person, you can be comfortable with others. Okay, as I said before, you don't find Oprah trying to copy Tony Robbins, or Tony Robbins trying to copy Oprah, or Obama trying to copy somebody else. They are themselves as speakers. Okay? So the key is to be yourself, and you will find yourself to be the best. Talk to us the way you talk to your friends. We were born to be real, not to be perfect. Yes, we're going to make mistakes. That's life. That's real. That's life. We will make mistakes. But if you feel that the only time you can speak, the only time you can do something is that when something is absolutely perfect, then you will never try. It is better to try and fail than not to have tried at all. So be real. Be who you are. You may not be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I probably make 100 mistakes already up here on the stage. But just because you make a mistake, don't let that mistake block you from trying to still do your best. And be mindful. When you speak to an audience, be mindful of who you are talking to. If you're talking to an audience of people who are in the Army, you wouldn't talk to them the same way as you talk to some young kids in high school or something. Be mindful of the sensitivities, the cultural sensitivities of the audience that you're talking to. So that's very, very important in terms of being a good speaker. Also, be discerning. Be careful about what you choose. What you add to your speech or take out of your speech, be discerning. Be careful about that. And also use good vocal variety. If you're going to make a point, raise your voice or lower. The thing about your voice, if you want to make an important point, you can make an important point by lowering your voice. Or you can make an important point by raising your voice. But if you're just monotone the whole way, and the important points, there's no up, no downs, then no one would know what is really, really important. So it's very good to learn that, and Toastmasters teaches this as well. Be fearless. Yes. There's nothing to fear in life but fear itself. Get out of your comfort zone. Do something that is not normal for you, and that will cause you to grow as a speaker and as well as a person in life. Fear has two meanings. Which one applies to you? Does the first one apply to you? Forget everything and run? Or does the second one, face everything and rise? The choice is yours. You're in this life between birth and death, a short period of life. Which one you're going to choose is your guide. And be comfortable in your own skin. If you're not, you'll never convince others that you are. Be imaginative. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. Imagine the first person who said, you know what? I think we can fly. Everybody else who looked at that person would say, hey, he's crazy. But look at the airplanes we have today. We saw that big full moon last night. How many of you saw that big full moon last night? They said it wouldn't come this close to the Earth until another 18 years. The moon was beautiful. If you looked up and saw it, it was really, really beautiful. Could you imagine us looking at that thing saying, one day I'm going to go there. That's a lot of imagination, right? And like the statement, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. So the same thing with public speaking. If you can imagine yourself being a good speaker, and it's not that difficult. Well, it takes practice. The key is to be as comfortable, as I said earlier, as you are speaking to your buddies, your best friend, your loved ones, there as you are here on stage. And mainly, to be you. You may be looking at me and say, okay, this tall, bald-headed guy is telling all these things about being a good public speaker. But why? I am a geologist. I am a petroleum engineer. I am an HR specialist. I am a medical specialist. I am a geophysicist. Why is it important for me to be a good speaker? Isn't it just okay for me to be able to talk with my colleagues and give presentations? I do all right. I can give a presentation. But why is it important for me to be a good speaker? Well, to answer that question, I'll ask you another question. How successful in life do you want to be? Do all of you want to be successful? I'm asking a real question here. Do you want to be successful?
Yes.
I mean, I don't hear the enthusiasm. I don't hear it. Do you want to be successful?
Yes.
So if you know there's a way that makes you most successful, would you achieve it?
Yes.
Would you try to achieve it?
Yes.
Yes, right. Now, there was a study done by the Carnegie Mellon Institute of Technology which looked at In the workplace, what are the factors that influence employees to be most successful? And this is what this study showed. It showed that 15% of success is influenced by our IQ, by our rational capabilities, by our ability to be technical, to be analytical. And that's important, right? But they also found that 85% of success is influenced by other intelligences. Wow. Can anybody tell me what are some of these other intelligences? What do you think they may be?
Social.
Emotional intelligence. Anybody else?
Social intelligence.
Say it again.
Social.
Your social abilities, yes. That's true. But there's one thing special about Saudi Arabia that I learned that will cause you to be successful. Does anybody know what it is? It's just unique to Saudi Arabia.
Network.
No.
Network.
No.
Greeting.
It's Rasta. No, but seriously, I'm bringing that up seriously for a reason. Rasta will get you in the door, but it won't keep you there. Because once people see that this person is really not capable, you will lose all respect, right? So, the 85%, you already answered, what they found was that the major contributors to your success are your moral intelligence. Are you a trustworthy person? Are you an honest person? Do you have integrity? That's very important. Your emotional intelligence, your ability to negotiate, communicate, and lead, your personality, your intrapersonal skills. How confident are you? How responsible are you? How reliable are you? How persistent? Do you give up the first time you fail? How do you manage your emotion? What kind of self-control you have when you get angry? That's important. Also, your interpersonal skills, how you relate to others. How well can you listen to others? How can you understand and interpret others' emotions to know the appropriate way to respond? All those things are important. This is what the study found. Also, your body intelligence. Do you eat the right foods? Do you listen to the signs of your body when you're sick? Do you exercise? Do you go to the gym and work out and try your best to look like me one day? I'm only kidding. You're better than me. But anyway, these things are important to your success. Very important to your success. There's also a study that says intelligence is overrated. Yes, you do need good IQ, you do need good rational skills when you're in school to get good grades. But after that, yes, you still need good intelligence, but you have to develop yourself holistically. And this is a great article, I think it's a professor at Harvard who wrote this article about how the internet intelligence is overrated. And you all know, you all meet these kind of people who are brilliant intellectually, but they are very poor when it comes to dealing with people.
Yes.
So you don't want to be one of these kind of people, right? Nor do you want to look like this person, do you? Right? This is an important statement, and I'll read it slowly. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. That's a powerful statement. And I say that because studies have found that the fear of public speaking is the greatest fear that most people have. And if you can go through the experience of realizing that within you, you have something to overcome that fear, and you overcome it and you achieve, then you would get a tremendous reward. Not only with public speaking, but with anything in life. Just look at Muhammad Khatani. I'll give you an example. He was a mute until he was 6 years old. Didn't speak a word. And even today, when you talk to Muhammad Khatani, he still stutters. But yet, he didn't say, look, I'm not even going to bother to compete for the World Championship of Public Speaking. That's something that I wouldn't even consider. But he realized that there was something inside of him greater than other obstacles. Any obstacle he could face, and he was able to overcome it. So that's important. So what is the value of Toastmasters? What is the value of Toastmasters as an organization? Toastmasters is a laboratory. It gives you the opportunity to practice these skills. Now, I want to give you the value of Toastmasters in the words of an Aramco. It is an opportunity if all young professionals make good use of it. It will definitely add value and will pay off in the long term. This is an investment in the future because once people start their careers with good communication skills, it makes a big difference. And lastly, you can be the brightest scientist. You can know everything. But if you cannot translate what is in your mind to the public, it may be good for you, but not for anyone else. This was said by the Exploration Vice President, Mr. Ibrahim Asper. Powerful words. Lastly, I want to leave you with the Toastmasters mission to emphasize the importance of being able to speak properly. To create a mutually supportive and positive learning environment, that's what Toastmasters does. Every participant has the opportunity to develop his or her communication and leadership skills in that environment. And lastly, and this is what I want to focus on, it fosters self-confidence and personal growth. You know when you go fishing, you put the bait for the fish. It's not the bait you want in the fish's belly, it's the hook, right? The bait for Toastmasters, it tells you, you will develop great communication and leadership skills. That's the bait. But the hook is self-confidence. The hook is consciousness in your growth as an individual. The hook is being able to use what you learn as a tool, that wherever you are, you feel confident to express yourself. You won't suppress your ideas, unless you'll be shot for them. I'm only kidding. No, I'm only kidding with that. But you have developed internally the courage to speak. And that is the reward. Yes, you'll be able to be a good speaker, a good leader, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But the hook is wherever you go, whether you are at a meeting with your colleagues in the office, whether you're at home, whether you're doing something in the community, you have developed a certain confidence, a certain consciousness, a certain self-empowerment that will make you achieve your highest growth. And you know something Mr. Asadan also said that I really liked? He said, you know, Nasheed, sometimes I'm in meetings and I hear people speak, and they have a great idea, but by the way they said it, I didn't even know it was a great idea. So there are people, regardless to what your work your career is or work environment is. Develop these skills, and it will be a hook that will give you a greater reward in the future. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Hidayah Youssef, who will run an impromptu session called Table Topics, because in Toastmasters we don't just develop your skills to give speeches, we also